Hello, Tracy. Nice to have you here. You are the first one, and Dr. Ash is just joining. I am
Hello,
happy you.
Michael.
Hello. I am happy you kept the picture with the rose. It fits you so
Thank
well.
you.
We are just three of us. Hello, Dr. Ash, but I'm sure the others will join. Some apologize already. Um,
Hello, Michael. Good to see you.
hello. And I will switch the camera off because it's 12 o'clock in here and we will start. So let me switch the camera. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. The next Power of Touch is here, and I'm meeting the members of my global family with whom I build Wasteless World together, riding on the back of language toward Wasteless World. And the term today, which we will discuss, is health. And because Tracy was here first day, Tracy, if you close your eyes and you hear the term health, what came first to your mind, please?
I did not close my eyes because I got your email invitation. And when I look at this word for the very first time, I see heal after health. And I realize, like many other words, we have the verb and the noun, right? Going through the healing process, then we will have health. Why we have to have the healing process? Because every single human being on earth, we we were preemies when we were born. Because compared to other mammals, that like horses, cows, they can start walking right away. We are not. We normally take at least 7 to 8 months before we can start walking. And normally, I think on average, the infants will eventually walk around 10 to 12 months old. That's the just the average. Some early ones could be walking around 7 and 8 months, but still, we were not able the time we were born. Many of us couldn't even open the eyes until like a week later. I think that's what I was told. It could be a little bit off in medical field, but what I was trying to say is we went through a long healing process to be in the healthy state. So that's what I see in this word. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Tracy. And I hope, Dr. S, you will allow me to ask Leslie and Charito first before you came uh, next. So
Please go ahead.
thanks a lot. Uh, Leslie, when you heard the term health for the first time, or when you saw it in my invitation, and when you close your eyes, what came first to your mind, please?
I'm kind of with Tracy. My eyes had to be open. I love that. Uh, so the first thing that came up with is the mantra that I've carried for 20 years, which is most people know me about living a life of wealth, health, and happiness. That is my ultimate intention, purpose, and helping people and myself every day, aspiring to having it all as often as we can. And then, of course, I saw the word heal, just like Tracy did. She saw it first, and then, that was kind of the second layer. I will tell you that the eyes are open when my children's eyes were open, and you are absolutely right. And isn't it interesting? I wonder what the origin of health is. We know that heal is in there, but how in the world did health come from heal? Which would be interesting to know. But really, for me, wealth, health, and happiness covers everything. Wealth is riches, not necessarily only money, health, right? Which is really where I'm in a place right now where my health isn't good. I have always neglected my health in the sense that I don't pay much attention unless something feels like it's really wrong. I've gotten better as I've gotten older and had more serious things, incidents occur. So I'm much more keenly aware, um, really, about how I've squandered my health, probably as most people do to a certain extent until they become more wise and more aware. And then we start to, well, we're always evaluating, evolving our values and our intentions. So for me, health is really part of a triumvirate, all three pieces of which give me the most peace and where I want to be most of the time. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Charito, let me ask you the same question. When you close your eyes and you hear the term health, what came first to your mind, please?
Good evening, everybody. Uh, when I close my eyes and think about health, I always go back to since I was young. When we talk of health, I thought it's just the physical one. When I was younger, in elementary and high school, my parents were proactive. They tried to make us healthy. They said that we follow like sleep early, walk, and all that exercise, make your body get ready. Because since when you grow older, more things are going to be done physically, intellectually, and all the lays in the world. I did not understand that, but they tried to form us so that we would be healthy. And that's the physical sense of it. When I grew older, when I was in high school, I realized then the emotional ones, the emotional health was also being taken cared for, especially within the family and then outside of us. You have had to interact with people and all those things. Will you get so easily hurt? Are you so easily angered? So this is the mastery of the emotions around you. Then when you get older, when I was in college, I realized that health is not only the physical, the emotional. Here comes the religious health. Because it is at this part in life where your knowledge, the totality of a person's health, not the physical, the biological, the intellectual, the religious side of it will be tested. Because, like me, when you, there are bad health, I said, when you met an accident like mine, those are structural bad health, right? When you feel disabled, you become disabled. Here comes your emotional health. Here comes your intellectual health. You're so intellectual, so wide enough, wide, wide-headed, and all that thinker. That all these things rolled into one because this is part of your existence. And even the spiritual belief that God puts us here, not only the good things, but also the bad things. So for me, health is the totality of a human being that was being infused since when we were young, unconsciously or consciously, but without thinking. As we grow older, we grow from it, we learn from it. Then we have the mastery of the health that we have. Now we are adults. We know how to handle things. I think that here comes all the bad health, the pains in life, the emotion and the love and all that. So health is a totality of everything that is right. And if one thing goes wrong, goes out of that totality, it's where you handle. It's the completeness of what you learned in life. The physical, the biological, the emotional, the intellectual, and all those things rolled into one. And that's where you learn about life and you go on life, living life. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. Dr. Ash, when you heard the term health for the first time, what came first to your mind, please?
Thank you very much, Michael, for having me on. Actually, health is one of my favorite subjects. I must congratulate you firstly on your excellent picture. You're looking a picture of good health yourself, and with that smile, it makes it even better. Now, to start with, I'd like to mention that I never took my health seriously, frankly. Um, while I was a bachelor, I was roaming the world after having had military service. I went on to various companies, an oil company, and then a German company, and then a company in England, roaming the world on projects. I used to live out of hotels, hotel food, you know, uh, Whatever they gave, I ate. And I used to eat out a lot in restaurants. I didn't care much. I used to think back and wonder about my father, who used to go for long walks and who used to play tennis also, and keep himself fit as ever. He gave up smoking, and I used to wonder why. And I used to smoke before. I used to smoke the cigar. I used to smoke the pipe. And then one fine day, I used to have compulsory health checkups when I was a chief executive of a large pharmaceutical company later. And it was compulsory. And it was a 3-day kind of a checkup in which I had to go through everything virtually. And one fine day, I thought to myself, I said, you better give up smoking. Otherwise, I hated to be told off, you see. I liked dictating things to people. But I was a bit worried about my own health later. And I decided to give up smoking. It's very interesting because actually you become addicted to nicotine. And I had tried the nicotine patch in England, and I had actually started even the chewing gum. There's a cheweret that's available. And I found I was chewing more and smoking more at the same time. So health to me is not just about being sick. I was hit by a heart attack in way back in 2013. And I was at the institute, and then when I went home, I sat on the bed, and suddenly I had this horrible chest pain. And my wife saw me, and she said, "Shall I call an ambulance?" And I said, "No, call one of the students. It'll be quicker to get back to the hospital than the ambulance." And one of the students came running over straight away. And I got there, walked into the ICU, and they said, "What are you doing walking about? You should be on a wheelchair." Anyway, I was given the treatment, and I had a heart bypass surgery, which by itself is a horrible thing that somebody has to go through. I believe, in fact, I'm following up on my research. President Clinton has also been through it, and he's doing wonderfully fine. And I do a lot of research. I did a certificate course from Ireland after that, and I've done a lot of research. And by the grace of God, I've got myself back in excellent health after that. Now, normally when people hear the word health, they often think of staying fit or avoiding an illness. But real health is much more than that. It's a balance of many areas in life: physical, mental, emotional, social, and even environmental. I believe that physical health is the most familiar. It includes eating well, staying active, getting enough sleep, and seeing a doctor when needed. But looking healthy on the outside doesn't always mean everything is okay on the inside. Now, mental health is a different subject. It's very important, of course. It affects how we think, make decisions, and handle stress. If your mind is constantly overwhelmed, even the healthiest body can feel exhausted. Alongside this is a very important factor, which is emotional health. That actually helps us deal with feelings like anger, sadness, or joy. Being emotionally healthy means we can express ourselves and bounce back from tough times. Now, social health matters too. It's the people around you, around your neighborhood, wherever you might live. We all need connections, and therefore supportive relationships with family, friends, and community can actually improve our overall well-being and even help us live longer. On the flip side, of course, loneliness can harm both body and mind. Finally, I'd like to mention environmental health. That is about the world around us. Clean air, safe drinking water, and green spaces play a huge role. in how healthy we feel every day. A polluted or stressful environment can slowly wear us down without us even realizing it. So, health isn't just one thing, it's everything put together. It's not about being perfect, but about finding the right balance and making small choices that add up over time. Whether it's taking a walk, calling a friend, or simply drinking a glass of water, every step counts. And I'd like to say that in today's busy world, caring for our health and that of others means caring for every part of ourselves. Because when we feel well in body, mind, and spirit, we can live life more fully and more joyfully. And I'd like to mention here, Michael, frankly speaking, between us all, as you mentioned earlier on, that we are one family, we must keep checking on our dear friends. Like, for example, Mariana, we haven't heard about Dr. Anjan Banerjee and the others who used to join in sometime before also. So I hope we can find out by ourselves and give a word of confidence to each other at the same time. We don't want any of us disappearing just like that. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ash. Just to come back to your sentence, so Mariana, after her healthy check, she is checking. She's looking for a new job, so she does not have time to join our Wednesday discussions at the moment. Dr. Anjan unfortunately has some big troubles with logging in into Zoom, so that's a reason for him. Unfortunately, I do not know about Pat because the last time I heard about her, she was in hospital. And unfortunately, I am inviting her every time, but unfortunately, I haven't heard about her. So I hope she's still fine, and she just don't have time to join us. For the
Thank
other hand, we are trying to stay in touch.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Ussi, you are the next one. If you close your eyes and you hear the term health, what came first to your mind, please?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Michael, for this incredible opportunity. When I hear the word health, I think of freedom, building on resilience. True health is a balance of body, mind, and spirit. A state where everything within us works in harmony to unlock our full potential. It is the biology of freedom, a heart pumping life-giving blood, neurons sending signals with accuracy, and any immune system standing guard against hiding threats. Health is a quiet foundation of life, the code that allows us to move, dream, and achieve without limits. Imagine, the human body is a masterpiece of design. At 7 trillion cells, each playing its parts in the mission of survival. Our DNA carries the code of resilience. Our microbiome forms partnership with invisible partners. And our neuron system makes decisions faster than any supercomputer. Health is more than a personal journey. It is the heartbeat of global mission. In a wasteless world where every resource, every effort, and every moment is valued, True health is becomes the foundations for harmony and resilience. It is the force that allows us to live full, think clearly, and act with purpose. By honoring our bodies, our communities, and our planets, we create a life where potential is never lost, where compassion flows freely, and where peace for all is not just a hope, but a reality we build together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ussi, and thank you all. You know, I choose the term because it came to me again during my sleep, and it was so interesting because especially when you mentioned the connection between heal and health, because in my language there are two different words. One, health, it's it's in Czech we say zdraví, but heal means léčit, so very different term. But health is connected with greeting. We use the same term for greeting so as for health itself, which is interesting as well. And what I love most about your answers was the fact that we do not limit the term health just to human beings, but to the planet as well, to plants, to everything around us. And this is what I would like to call Tracy, because I like, as you remember, the opening of the eyes. How do you think, and right now I'm not speaking about the children themselves, I'm speaking about adults. What do you think is needed for the adults who are here already to open their eyes for health of the environment, of the climate, of the society itself? What is needed to happen to realize that health is something what we should aim for?
Awareness, Michael, I would say. So many people walking blindly daily, literally, because so many people put their eyesight focused on the phone. I do that all the time. You know, how many people walking blindly just to look at down on their mobile device. We do that daily. We have no awareness of our surroundings anymore, right? It could be easily robbed by somebody who's perpetrating a crime, and we just don't know because we are drawn into this virtual world and we overlook the reality around us. So I think awareness and drawing a boundary for every single one, from adults to kids who have the access to technology, we need to have a boundary. How far we want to be, 6 feet apart, 3 feet apart, you know, how much time you want to be in the real world, and how further away you want to be from the technology. Technology is here to serve us like slaves, not masters. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Leslie. And Tracy, I fully agree with you. Leslie, I know because you mentioned that you just recently lost your eyes and then part of your eyesight was recovered, if I'm not wrong. How was it for you the awakening moment? Because I think that it was much more than that.
Boy, you're just filling good questions today, aren't you? Or maybe it's me and how I hear them and listening to them. So, what I can tell you about what happened was I was under a fair amount of stress and I got in the shower, and all of a sudden, my right eye, it looked like a flash of light. Now, what had happened is there's another word for it, but it really is a stroke, and your eyes are part of your brain. So I continued with the shower and, opening and closing my eye, and got out of the tub. And went to sit down, and I realized in the moment, one, that it could have been so much worse. I mean, this is what's going through my mind. I did not miss a step. I had a moment where I thought, oh, I'm a line editor. I won't be able to do that anymore. But that is a reflection of the fear of criticism or judgment, self-judgment, really. But it wasn't true. So I had a short moment of, what won't I be able to do now? The only thing that I'm unable to do is to drive. So it was the right eye, and I've been treating it, and it's half back to normal, but it will never be normal. And what I can tell you is that it brought up gratitude right away, because I believe in karma, and I believe that we feed energetically into the universe goodness. I don't have to understand scientifically every single thing about physics, and I've seen enough empirical evidence to know and to count on certain behaviors of our universe. And I think the older we get, we see that. So honestly, I never complained. Now, I went back to the eye doctor, and I was in a hospital for a whole weekend, all sorts of tests. And this is kind of what shook me up about, okay, Leslie, like I said before, I didn't pay much attention. I'm like Dr. Ash. I think we do squander our health. It can't happen to us. And when things happened, it kind of shakes us. And I think Dr. Ash's heart attack, shook him. Each person, you asked what do we need? I can tell you that it's up to each individual to wake up. They will. Even if it's on their deathbed, ultimately, we will face, who we are and what we've done. So for me, I was grateful, because really losing one eye when I have another, and that really the only thing I can't do is drive. And I'm almost 80 years old, and now my grandkids, the four of them, are all driving, and they drive Nana. I used to be Uber Nana, and now they have a joy in picking me up and taking me places. And I have the joy of talking to them, because they're all living their own lives. And I don't get to really sit and talk with them. So what's actually happened, Michael, to your point, that something so incredibly beautiful came out of this. My daughter and I went and bought me a scooter, an electric scooter, and every weekend, either my son and his family or my daughter and her family come, we have a meal, and we take a walk around my neighborhood and talk. Now, if this hadn't happened and I was still driving, I would not be able to enjoy and to really get to know them now that they're parents and their kids are grown. So it's really been one of the biggest blessings that I've had, is this experience, to answer your question. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And thank you for sharing this really deep experience. And I will say wonderful experience. Charito, you are in the real estate business. And here in my country, we speak about the healthy or health of the environment. Is in Philippines the health of the environment or building same important as it is here in the middle of Europe?
I did not get your point, Michael. Can you ask it again?
Yes, whether the health of environment is important for the buyer of a real estate property.
It's when a buyer buys a property, I think they're looking at the physicality of that property, the environment, and all that. Yes, but here in our country. It's the developers who dictate which are the places they put the development. So when you're a buyer, even if you don't like the place, oh well, probably because it does not look so healthy to you, or it's whatever. One cannot do anything about it in that instance, but not all the time, because the buyers can choose anywhere. But you see, right now, our country is not, you know, last night we have a very great earthquake, 6.9. 50 plus died, and now they're counting in Cebu City, and that province is just in front of us. But thanks God, we're spared. I never even heard, I didn't even feel it here in our city, Cagayan de Oro City. That's very near the sea between us. So everywhere, if you say environment, the negative things about the places is that we don't know when the earthquake strikes again, when the typhoon hits, usually Visayas, Mindanao. Last week we have the typhoon in Luzon. Here in Mindanao, we're quite always spared. I don't know, maybe because of the geographical, location. So when you say environment or the pollution or what, it plays a great role. But then when you look at our geography, where we are placed in the Pacific, where earthquakes and all these things, I don't, I don't know how to explain it. That's part of the environment, right? Right now they're counting, and so many aftershocks. Some are felt near provinces. So even if the environment is so for us or for the client to buy, it's nice, airy, and all that places. But when the earthquakes come, I don't think everybody can think of environment in that regard. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito, and I wish you and all in Philippines great health and less earthquake. And I wish
Thank you.
everyone to be healthy and happy
Thank you.
in the region. Dr. Ash, we have 7.5 minutes left, just as an information. You mentioned a lot about health and about your health and how the heart attack and everything helps you to understand. I will turn to education. Do you think that we should educate and hand over the knowledge about health to the students?
Absolutely, Michael. I do believe that it's very important to educate not only students, but whosoever you may come in touch with. I'm regimented in the sense that I feel for people who've been through a trauma, like what Leslie has mentioned. And I was wanting to ask Charito actually about the earthquake in the Philippines because I saw it in the morning news. I'm very regimented in the sense that I get up in the morning, go for a long walk. It's nice to look at green trees and the greenery around and think about the world, how wonderful it is. And then I have breakfast at a certain time. And of course, then I go for work and have lunch at a certain time again. And I rest for a while in the afternoon before going on to a bit of more work. But I do a lot of research into medical science. And my parents were doctors. And therefore, I picked up a lot along the way. And that is all, should I say, educating ourselves, besides others. Students, yes, I keep passing on anything I know and everything I know about health. And I also teach health management to doctors, you'll be surprised. And that includes public health also. So it's very important. And I have students who actually come in to learn more about how I manage my health and how, in fact, you'll be surprised that I see my cardiologist, who's one of the top cardiologists in Pakistan, every 2 years. I used to go in every 3 months according to his orders. But then I realized that I used to argue with him because I've done a lot of research on things, and somehow he would be learning from me at the end. So, all said and done, it's a question of passing on the more knowledge that you can. That's the best thing that you can do in this world of today. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ash. Ussi, you have the last 4 minutes time. And my question is, Tanzania is one of the countries with the youngest population when we look at the average age. How important is health, or how understood is the health for the young people?
For the young people here in Tanzania, most people do not have education about health. So I should advise global citizen to come here in Tanzania to produce education and to solve the problem, because one challenge is unequal access. Some communities lack clean water or medical care. Churning them from the freedom health bring. Family walk miles for health care. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And we have 2.5 minutes left. And I think that today's event was once again fascinating, but I would like to inform you, I hope you will agree, that the next event I will announce, but it will be without the term given you ahead. I will give it to you at the start of our discussion. And I hope you will agree why I do that. You know, 3 hours after we finish, so in 3 hours, I have and you know it, the same topic with Bill and Kevin. And they learn all the time, just 1 minute before the start. And I think it will be interesting to try the same with all of you, because as I said at the beginning, we are members of a global family. We are there every single day on the on the construction site of Wasteless World. And I think that it may help us to speak even deeper from our heart. And I hope you will enjoy it. So, and I'm sure it will be a fascinating discussion. I cannot tell you the word, but
Yes.
I want to prepare you for the next time.
That's
Yes,
the
Charito?
best move, Michael. That's the best move.
Correct.
When you ask us instantly and you listen to what we say instantly too. In fact, it's the best approach, I should say. Because out of the blue, we give you fresh, raw ideas, unadulterated, unprepared, just right out of it. You know, I like that. Thank you, Michael.
I am happy you do, and I am sure it will be a great discussion. So I am looking forward. We have the last minute left. I'm looking forward to see you next week. And I would like to wish you have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free, be human, and be healthy in all aspects what health brings to us and what you just described so well. So thank you and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye, everyone.